Elsa traced her finger along the rim of her untouched coffee cup, watching the steam spiral upward in the dim cafe light. The holographic snowflakes projected across the windows flickered with each passing hovercab, casting blue shadows across her face. Her date had left 20 minutes ago, citing an urgent matter that couldn't wait. She knew the real reason. Despite the genetic modifications and the synthetic skin that made her appear almost human, something always gave her away. The bioluminescent markers beneath her temples, the slight shimmer when light hit her at certain angles, the way her eyes reflected starlight that humans couldn't see. She was Xylothian, one of the few hundred refugees granted asylum on Earth after the collapse of the outer colonies. Christmas Eve on Earth 3 Station felt nothing like the festivals of home, where crystalline trees sang in harmonic frequencies and families bonded through shared consciousness. Here, she was simply alone. "Excuse me?" Elsa looked up to find a small girl standing beside her table. The child couldn't have been more than 8 Earth years old, with dark curls pulled into 2 messy ponytails and eyes that sparkled with something between curiosity and desperation. She wore a patched thermal jacket, 2 sizes too large, and clutched a worn stuffed animal that had seen better decades. "Yes?" Elsa asked, her vocal synthesizer perfectly mimicking the local dialect. "Are you sad because you're alone?" The directness of children always caught Elsa off guard. In Xylothian culture, emotional states were communicated through pheromones and color shifts in their natural form. Human children, however, simply asked. "I suppose I am," Elsa admitted. The girl climbed into the opposite chair without invitation, setting her stuffed bear on the table. "Me too. My brother Benny and I came here looking for our dad, but the station records say he transferred to Mars 2-3 months ago. We don't have enough credits for another jump. Where is your brother now?" "Working a double shift at the cargo docks. He's 16 and pretends he's 18 so they'll give him the dangerous jobs. They pay more." The girl's voice carried a weariness that didn't belong to someone so young. "I'm supposed to stay at the youth shelter, but I snuck out. It's Christmas, and I wanted to see the lights." Elsa's chest tightened in a way her species didn't typically experience. The empathy modules implanted during her asylum processing were functioning perfectly, translating human emotional contexts into sensations her Xylothian nervous system could understand. This was grief. This was recognition of suffering. "What's your name?" Elsa asked. "Sarah. What's yours?" "Elsa. That's pretty." Sarah tilted her head, studying Elsa's face with unnerving intensity. "You're not completely human, are you?" Most adults danced around the question or pretended not to notice. Children saw the truth and accepted it. "No, I'm from a planet you've probably never heard of." "Cool." Sarah's eyes lit up. "Can you do anything special, like shoot lasers or read minds?" Despite herself, Elsa smiled. "Nothing so dramatic. I can see in different light spectrums. Infrared, ultraviolet. Right now, I can see that your core temperature is slightly below optimal. You're cold. The shelter's heater broke yesterday. They said the parts won't arrive until after New Year's." Sarah shrugged as if this were simply another fact of life. "Can I ask you something weird?" "Of course." Sarah leaned forward, her small hands folded on the table. "Can you be my new mom?" The question hung in the air between them, absurd and heartbreaking in equal measure. Elsa's biomonitoring systems detected her own elevated heart rate, increased adrenaline production, and the release of oxytocin. The empathy modules were working overtime. "Sarah, I know it's weird," Sarah interrupted, words tumbling out in a rush. "And I know we just met. But Benny and I have been alone since Mom died 2 years ago, and Dad keeps running from station to station looking for work, and I'm tired of being scared all the time. You look sad like us. Maybe we could be sad together and then maybe stop being sad?" The childish logic somehow made perfect sense. Loneliness plus loneliness didn't equal more loneliness. It equaled connection. It equaled family. Before Elsa could respond, a teenage boy burst through the cafe entrance, his face flushed with panic and exertion. "Sarah, I've been looking everywhere for you." "Benny," Sarah waved enthusiastically. "I made a friend." The boy, Benny, approached cautiously, taking in Elsa's appearance with the practiced wariness of someone who'd learned to assess threats quickly. He was rail-thin, with the same dark curls as his sister and hands calloused from manual labor. "Sorry if she bothered you. She doesn't understand boundaries." "She didn't bother me," Elsa said softly. "She asked me an interesting question." "What question?" Sarah grinned. "I asked if she'd be our new mom." Benny's face went through several shades of mortification. "Sarah, you can't just people don't, that's not how." He ran a hand through his hair, looking anywhere but at Elsa. "I'm really sorry." Elsa stood slowly, making a decision that would have seemed impossible an hour ago. "What if I said I was considering it?" Benny's eyes snapped to hers, searching for mockery and finding none. "You're serious?" "My people bond through shared experience and mutual need. We believe that family is not defined by biology but by choice and commitment." Elsa pulled out her datapad, her fingers moving swiftly across the holographic interface. "I have a 3-bedroom unit in Residential District 7, the heating works. I have asylum-granted citizenship, which means I can legally foster human children, and I find myself in need of a family as much as you seem to need one." Tears welled in Benny's eyes despite his obvious attempts to appear tough. "Why would you help us?" "Because your sister asked me to. Because I understand what it means to lose everything and search for somewhere to belong. Because it's Christmas Eve, and maybe that's reason enough." Sarah was already hugging Elsa's waist, her small arms barely reaching around. Benny stood frozen for a moment longer, before stepping forward hesitantly. "We don't even know you," he whispered. "Then we'll learn," Elsa said, placing a hand on his shoulder. "We have time." Outside, the holographic snow continued its endless dance against the viewport, and 3 lonely souls found themselves suddenly, impossibly, less alone. Elsa looked at the 2 children, her children now, perhaps, and felt something shift in her chest. Not the cold logic of survival that had carried her through the refugee processing, but something warmer. Hope. Maybe Earth could be home after all. The end.